But then the cat was let out of the bag. If it were completed, it would have been the biggest dam in Japan. Not just Hinamizawa, but several villages upstream would have been submerged as well. The protest immediately began. Petitions to cancel or relocate the project were drafted and submitted to the Diet. They even went so far as to go to the Ministry of Construction in Tokyo to hand over a direct appeal to the minister. The previous landowner sued the government, stating there were inconsistencies in the purchase agreement and the transaction should be nullified. Owners of yet unacquired land split their properties, increasing the number of landowners in order to stifle the project.
土地の買収なんていうお金の問題のうちは可愛かったんです。そのうち土地の強制収用をちらつかせるようになりましてね。その頃からです。機動隊とかの暴力行為が目立ち始めたのは。
機動隊って警察だろ？暴力行為なんてするのかよ。
殴りますよ。
They punched!
蹴りますよ。
They kicked!
私も殴られたことありますし、この辺だったかな。皮が切れちゃったみたいで血がすごい出ました。
Saying that, Shion indicated her temple by poking at it.
警察とかには
Filing a complaint against the riot police for police brutality would seem kind of strange for some reason. Is that why she was so against Oishi-san? I mean, I get the whole Mion being against Oishi-san because that thing, but I guess that would be why she was so grumpy. Naturally, they wouldn't pay heed to something like that. You wouldn't be able to establish proof on who exactly hit you, and they could justify their actions by saying you were interfering with police duties.
うちのばっちゃ烈火のごとく怒り狂いましてね。それからがすごかった。もう全面戦争ですよ。こっちも座り込みで訴えるなんて生っちょろいことなんかしません。ガンガン攻めました。
First, in order to call attention to the government, they filed a temporary injunction in court. Then, in order to gain public support, they called in prominent scientists to state that Hinamizawa was a valuable nature preserve. They pressured the prefectural and municipal assemblies, saying that the prefectural governor ignored his constituents when he approved the project and demanded his resignation. They completely and thoroughly denounced him. Naturally, in Hinamizawa, a ferocious conflict worthy of being called the Dam War began. In order to suppress the police's brutality, they coordinated with the network channels and exposed the violence of the riot squad members to the public. On top of that, they put together a special expose themed around the government repressing the citizens and aired it nationally. It worked wonders. Following that, the SWAT teams had their hands cuffed. Day after day, the petitions and demonstrations continued. Propaganda was used to help garner support. The circle of support gradually expanded outwards from Hinamizawa. Either that bore fruit, or the government finally decided against it. It was announced that the dam project was indefinitely suspended just a few years ago.
私たちにできることなら何でもしました。村全部が一丸になって戦ったんです。あの時は必死だったけど、終わった今となってはいい思い出かな。村人たちの連帯感や団結心は今でも消えていないんです。
Shion said that as she focused off into the distance. I felt that those eyes weren't filled with anguish, but rather a sense of pride.
そういう連帯感っていいよな。なかなかないことだよ。世代を超えて地域で団結できるなんて。
私もそう思います。ダム計画は試練だったけど、それを乗り越えて得たものはとても大きいと思いますよ。
The fear I was feeling until just now gradually began to fade. When people began to show up one after another while I was engaged with those thugs, I thought it was frightening. But now I felt from the bottom of my heart that I had been rude. The villagers prepared to defend their homeland to the death. The sense of solidarity that fostered. It might seem imprudent to say this, but I was a little jealous. If I had been in Hinamizawa when the protest against the dam was going on, I might have been able to share in that sense of solidarity.
ケイちゃんは反対運動の時ひなみ沢にいなかったから村人たちの連帯感を実感できないかもしれないけどみんなにはあるのしっかりとそれはたとえ引っ越してきたばかりのケイちゃんに対してもね
She couldn't have been more right. So many people got together to help me out when I just moved here. Even though they were strangers whose names I didn't even know. A hot feeling began welling up inside of me. When I lived in the city, I didn't even know my own neighbors. I thought that was natural. But here, that was an absurd and pathetic thing. Even though I thought of them as strangers, all of the other villagers viewed me as a comrade. Happiness and warmth. I was acutely aware of those feelings as they gradually welled up inside of me.
園崎さん店長がホール入ってほしいそうです
A more senior waitress waved her hand and called out to Shion. It seemed like it was time for work.
はい今入りますすみませんもう仕事しないとまずいみたいです
いいよいいよ付き合ってくれてありがとな楽しかったよ
帰っちゃいます
まあな飯の時間には戻らないとお袋がうるさいし
It seemed that Shion wanted to say something, but she swallowed her words. Like we hadn't talked enough, that kind of feeling. Looking at that expression, I regretted saying something that had disappointed Mion like that. I was about to say that I could stay a little bit longer when Shion got up from her seat.
はいこれこのチケットで払えばホットケーキ代も大丈夫ですから
Saying that, she showed me a coupon booklet as she tore out a few sheets and handed them to me.
便利でしょお給料の他にもらえるボーナスチケットなんですよ
Bonus!
いいよホットケーキ代くらい払えるよ
おやおや遠慮するなんてケイちゃんらしくないですよ私がお姉だったら喜んでおごられるくせに
She said as she laughed, gently stopping me from opening my wallet. Being told so with such an encouraging smile really resounded with me.
園崎さんすみませんレジ入ってくださいあはい今すぐ
Later, today was fun. Saying that, Shion smiled one more time at me.
あミオン今日は本当にありがとうな
My name's not Mion!
そう思うならきっと返してください楽しみにしてますから
After I said that, I realized I mistakenly called her Mion. I didn't know if she realized it or not. Further proof that she is Mion! Did you get the key, though? That's the important thing. Did you forget the key? Lazing around and watching television after dinner was part of my daily routine. It might seem like a waste at first glance, but you could say it was an important time when I was able to accrue knowledge of everything from politics to economics to various trivia. After dinner was valuable time well spent, while the brain was at its most supplied with nutrients.
バカバカ東京タワーの方が高いに決まってるだろ
Today I tested my knowledge of trivia by watching my weekly quiz show. Sitting in front of the television, I was able to get a lot of the answers right. But if I were actually up on stage, I'd probably fail miserably.
ケイチ園崎さんから電話よ
はいよ
Which one?
園崎ミオンか
It was a little late for her to be calling. I had a bad feeling about this. I had a hunch that it was something to do with club activities. She was probably going to inform me about what we were doing tomorrow. this was Mion we're talking about. She might even go as far as to say we're doing club activities right now, so hurry up and come over. By the way, it was 8 p.m.
もしもし。
Moshi
部活の野戦ってのは却下だぞ。
Yep, Shion told you. You forgot your key, you idiot. It was Mion, but it was a very un-Mion-like way of talking. Huh? Could it be...
ごめん。ひょっとしてミオンじゃなくてシオンか？
そうです。どうもこんばんは。夜分遅くにすみません。
For Mion, this would have been an ill-fittingly polite way of talking. But since it was Shion, it was natural. Even though they were both the same person. Why do you keep saying that? It's just like, he's reinforcing it so much. It's kinda ridiculous. With a dry smile, I enjoyed that mysterious feeling.
いや、別にいいよ。それより何の用だい？
ケイちゃんはケーキとかデザートとか
Yeah.
甘いものは好きですか？
There was no way I hated them. I'm an unabashed glutton.
ならよかったです。実はですね、夏の新デザートコンテストってのが
Dessert contest? Looks like they have a new dessert menu every season. So they were hiring taste testers for potential desserts.
エンジェルモードのデザートはかなり評判いいんですよ。
Why would you have to hire for that position? Just give them to the workers and be like, hey, try this out and tell me what you think.
モニターの募集もかなり倍率高いんです。それで担当職人の話、じゃーん。
じゃーんと言われても見えないからわからないけど、ひょっとして。
そうです。そのモニターチケットがここにあるってわけです。もしも甘いものが嫌いじゃないならいかがですか？
I don't know, I think she likes you.
いかがですかって、つまりなんだよ。そのチケットで俺が新デザートを食い放題と、そういうわけなのか？
They say to beware of honey pots, but this is sweeter than any pot of honey. All you can eat free dessert? No way.
OK ならモニター当選者の末番に名前を書いておきますね。明日お店に来たら係の者に名前を言ってください。それで万事 OK ですから。
万事 OK って、それで食べ放題なのか？無料なのか？
ええ、無料です。結構ありますからお腹を空かせてくることをおすすめします。
It's the free diabetes tasting club. This was such a delectable opportunity. It was almost scary. This was really Shion, right? It wasn't Mion posing as Shion in order to bait me into a trap, was it? What am I saying? They're the same person.
はいはい。ケイちゃんの考えてることは分かってますよ。
It's like, let's count the number of times Keiichi says they're the same person. Or mistakes. Like, we're gonna end up with, like, more than I can count on both of my hands at the end of the episode.
こんな美味しい話があるわけないって思ってるんでしょ？
ギグ。いや、そんなことは全然。
お姉から聞いてますけど、つくづく嘘のつけない人なんですね。私、そういうの嫌いじゃないです。
We're not really close. We don't live in the same house, but my sister and I talk about you all the time. What? Shion laughed with a voice that sounded a lot like how Mion would laugh.
下心ってわけじゃないんですけど、実は私、明日はちょっとバイトしたらすぐに終わりなんです。
Dato?
もしもご迷惑じゃなかったら、その後、
Oh, it's a dato.
してもいいかなって思いまして。
へえ、明日のバイトはすぐ終わっちゃうんだ。
はい。だから、ケイちゃんがデザート食べながらのんびりしてるうちに終わっちゃうんです。
まあ、俺も特に用事はないし、多少付き合うくらいなら構わないよ。
別にどこかに行くわけでもないです。夕涼みしながらお散歩でもできたらなって思ってるだけですから。
There was no reason for me to refuse. Out of courtesy, I might as well take her up on the offer.
そういえば、 姉ちゃんと私ってなんだか毎日会ってますよね。
言われてみればそうだな。
でも OK してもらえたおかげでまた明日も会える口実を作ることができました。
Huh? What was Mion saying?
ケイちゃん、なんだか声が裏返ってます。どうしたんでしょうね。
It wasn't a video phone, but she could tell it was beet red.
じゃあ明日きっと来てくださいね。
You know those video phones that do the videos?
それじゃあこれで失礼します。
FaceTimes?
あ、おやすみ。
Shion finished with what she had called to say, ended the conversation without any chit-chat. When I returned to the living room after hanging up the phone, the TV was already off and my mom was sleeping in the rocking chair. Not feeling like turning the TV back on, I went back upstairs and returned to my room.
俺、シオンに世話になってばかりだよな。
She brought me a bento and saved me when I got involved with those thugs. I was supposed to be a different person, or she was, so I could thank Mion at school. Come to think of it, she'd probably just say she'd pass it on to her sister that she doesn't talk to. I have to thank Shion directly. Tomorrow, I'll have to repay her somehow. I don't know about where this is going. Maybe we're going on a date? Oh man, let's learn about the delinquent 3 that we totally instigated the fight, and we're totally in the wrong for, mind you. Mob mentality. That's kind of a spooky picture. Alright.
たちが逮捕されなきゃなんねえんだろうな。すっとらってんじゃねえ。話さんけこれ。クマちゃん、腕を離してあげていいですよ。さささ、どうぞおかげになって。
The three people rubbed their arms painfully. Kumatani-kun and the others must have been squeezing them pretty tightly.
お兄さんたち誤解しないでくださいよ。別に逮捕したわけじゃないんだから。クマちゃん、冷蔵庫から冷たいの出してあげてください。お兄さんたちは泡の出る麦茶と出ない麦茶どっちがいいです？
It almost sounds like we're making like a bad business deal, you know, like you know why I brought you kids in here? I need you to go and do some investigative work for me using your unique talents. You know, that kind of thing. They plunked down onto the reception sofa, and despite not yelling anymore, they still had dangerous expressions. What I'd give to be young again.
飲まないなら私勝手に飲んじゃいますよ。失礼してピシッと。勤務中に飲むビールが一番美味しいですね。
Excellent. As he downed the beer with glee, the three people exchanged glances, then finally reached out for their cans. They hadn't stopped being cautious. It was more like they didn't see a reason to refuse. They each opened their cans and began to drink the contents. Those are the poison cans we keep in the fridge, just for such an occasion. They looked at each other again, suspicious of whether they should tell him.
お兄さんたち大学生？お友達同士？バイクか何かで旅行中だったんでしょうかね。
Yeah, the ones that kid scratched.
羨ましいな。家は近くってわけじゃないんでしょ。どっから来たの？大阪ですかな。んなのどこでもいいだろ。まあまあそう凄まないで。あのままいたらお兄さん方だってやばかったでしょ。
They seemed to recall the thrilling event from earlier. While they can understand getting surrounded by students, or a gang, or something along those lines. They would never have been surrounded by locals, both young and old, both men and women before. It was easy to imagine how scared they must have been.
ここいらの人間ならどんな間違いがあってもひなみ沢の人間には手出ししないですよ。
Ah.
あそこの連中は特殊なんです。
Even if, you'd knocked over some bikes, and it was your fault.
子供の喧嘩に親は出てくるな、なんてもんじゃない。一人をいじめたら、それこそ村中が総出でやってきますよ。いや、ほんと、脅しでもなんでもなく。
They couldn't argue against that. They themselves had been surrounded. They'd seen it with their own eyes. There was no doubt about it.
ここいらじゃねえ。ひなみ沢の人間に睨まれたら、あっさり鬼隠しにあって消えちまうんです。
This is coming up again, isn't it?
もう、跡形もなく忽然と。お兄さん方、行方不明になったら誰か捜索願いを出してくれるご家族はいます。
It's starting to sound slightly threatening.
いないならまずいな。蒸発扱いですよ。
Even then, we got there soon enough that nothing had happened. If we'd been late, things could have taken a turn for the worse. If they'd been forced into an alleyway, these young men wouldn't be sitting on a couch right now. They might be lying on an autopsy table. Well, probably not. Anyway, perhaps they'd be a little more cooperative if we found them as corpses.
お兄さん方、沖宮へは何で来たの？電車？バイク？
バイク。
そりゃまずいな。さっきのとこにまだ止めっぱなしなんでしょ。
Well, they're actually lying in the ground, scratched up, as you may have noticed.
あんたらのこのことバイクを取りに戻ったら、今度こそ袋叩きに会いますよ。なんだよそれ。
Just like you did before, you mean? Calm down. Why are you young people these days so quick with the shouting?
あんたらももう面倒ごとはごめんでしょう。バイクのナンバー教えてください。ここまで持ってきてあげますから。クマちゃん、交通課対策にゲート車を借りてきてください。別にいいよ。自分たちで取りに行くからいいって。あんたら本気で囲まれたいんですか。今度は警察間に合わないかもしれませんよ。大丈夫だっつったんだろ。
大丈夫。
囲み超党で。
You mean like your bikes did?
おい、お兄さん方、あんたら今泡の出る麦茶飲んだろ。
The one with the poison in it?
エンジンかけてみろ。その場で飲酒取るぞこら。
What? Is it alcoholic?
汚ねえ。警察が税金使って兄さん方のバイクを運びして死んぜよって言ってんだよ。ごちゃごちゃ言わねえでナンバー言えってんだこのクソバカ野郎。
Boy, she's getting a little upset. The three were hesitant to tell him the numbers. They were mumbling something along the lines of not remembering them since they just bought the bikes. Well, that's what I thought. Ha!
クマちゃん、ゲート車に同行してバイク持ってきてあげて。ごつい赤いやつとテールランプの右側が割れたやつ。あとシートにガムテ貼ってあった白いやつ。それだろ、兄さんたちのバイク。
They didn't answer. Those must be the right ones.
おいさん、ゲート車来ましたんで行ってきます。
はいはい、よろしくお願いします。あとクマちゃん、
はいはい。
ちょっと
なんすか？
ナンバー紹介しといてください。間違ったバイクを持ってきちゃうと悪いから。
The three people's faces changed color. They made themselves very easy to understand.
バイク戻ってくるまでのんびりしてましょうよ。ビールもっとありますよ。
I guess it is alcoholic, maybe.
乾き物だってありますし。テレビ見ます？ろくなのやってませんけどね。
いいよ、俺たちもう行くから。こんなとこにいつまでもいたくねえよ。
Smell you later, Gramps. Suddenly, there were 5 or 6 huge officers surrounding them. The clearly overpowering stares nailed them to the sofa.
なんだよ。俺たちが何かしたかよ。
Going on a trip by stealing motorcycles, huh? Students these days have too much time on their hands. Ho 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 ho. That'll teach 'em. Good day's work. That's what us cops do. So if they were stolen, I guess there's like a net balance of them probably not being the victims, of them maybe being bad people. I don't know. Keiichi still was totally a jerk. I'm just gonna say that. Anyway, I do think that was a good example, though, of how the villagers all kind of will work together for people of their village and will push out outsiders. And that was obviously the point of that. So I guess that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time for some more Higurashi. Bye!